It's Monday in the GPFans office, and it would be very tempting to put the past away and look ahead to the upcoming Austrian Grand Prix. But when there's a sensational Williams drive to wax lyrical about, and a bit of off-the-track chirping between old title rivals, well, we can't just let that go unnoticed as we continue our fallout from last Sunday's French Grand Prix. Once again at GPFans, we're bringing you the latest from the world of Formula 1, so hit that subscribe button and allow us to do the hard work of keeping you up to date with everything going on in F1. Now, let's get into all of the talking points this Monday. So first up on Monday's agenda, and Lewis Hamilton has countered the jibe made by former Mercedes teammate and former title rival as well, Nico Rosberg, after finishing runner-up to Max Verstappen in the French Grand Prix. Hamilton's one-stop bid for victory at the Paul Ricard circuit fell short against two-stopping Verstappen as the Red Bull hunted down the seven-time F1 champion before making the race-winning pass on the penultimate lap of 53. In his role as a Sky Sports F1 analyst, Rosberg felt Hamilton had allowed Verstappen to pass far too easily, even though the Briton had been on a set of hard tyres for 34 laps compared to the 19 of Verstappen on the medium compound. "It was unusual from Lewis," remarked Rosberg. "Close the damn door, no? Usually Lewis is the best one-to-one racer, and I'm surprised he didn't try. At least try. Brake late, try to keep him on the outside, so a bit soft from Lewis somehow." Asked to respond to Rosberg's claims, Hamilton said, "Firstly, there are marbles on the inside, so I didn't want to make my tyres any worse than they already were. He had the DRS open, so if he didn't pass me there, he would have passed me on the straight afterwards, so it would have made zero difference, and I just had no front end, so he would have got me either way. It was pointless to defend any harder. You saw what happened to Valtteri Bottas. Just ended up going straight on, so there was no point messing up the tyres anymore." Post-race, Mercedes was forced to defend its policy of opting for a one-stop strategy, a plan that angered Valtteri Bottas, who made his feelings plain and heard over the team radio as he was reeled in from second to finish fourth as Sergio Perez also passed him late on. After Bottas had pitted after 17 laps, Mercedes had also waited for 2 laps before calling in Hamilton, allowing Verstappen to perform the undercut following his first stop after 18 laps. Assessing his team's strategic errors, Hamilton said, "If we look with hindsight, for sure if we had stopped earlier before they had stopped, come out ahead and just gone on to a 2-stop, probably could have won the race, but it would have still been very difficult. Their pace was generally very, very strong. I was able to keep them at bay when he was behind me, but if he, Verstappen, had not made a mistake in turn 1, they would have just led the race all the way probably." As to whether the 2-stop plan would have been worth trying, Hamilton added, 2-stop? Probably. 2-stop would potentially have done the job, but it was not on the cards at all for us, so we'll do some analysis and try to figure out why. One driver far happier than the Mercedes duo is George Russell, who hailed the French Grand Prix as his best ever race in F1 with Williams after finishing 12th. In a race with no retirements, Russell made overtaking manoeuvres late on against both Esteban Ocon in the Alpine and Yuki Tsunoda's AlphaTauri to provide Williams with its best result of the season. The result was Russell's best finish for Williams since last year's Bahrain Grand Prix, while it also ensured the team is again ahead of Haas into 9th in the Constructors' Championship. Despite challenging driving conditions with tyre degradation a key for strategy, Russell was able to excel at the Paul Ricard circuit. "It was really difficult from within," Russell told Sky Sports F1. "It was a really great race from within, managing to do a couple of really nice overtakes, one with Tsunoda at the end, which for us, finishing ahead of these cars, the Alfa Romeo, Ocon, Tsunoda at the end, for us is massive. Finishing 12th on merit, I would go as far as saying it was our best ever race together. It is a shame nothing happened in front, because as I say, 12th on merit is ordinarily quite a good result, but nevertheless, really pleased with that and a good way to start the 3 weeks." Russell prospered throughout his junior category career, but since joining the back of the grid Williams team, the British driver has struggled to perfect his first lap performances. It was a similar story at Paul Ricard, with Russell explaining, "I didn't do enough of a job at getting the tyres in the window on the formation lap, and I just had a load of wheel spin off the line, and it was just a knock-on effect. I got sandwiched into turn 1, had a car on the outside, a car on the inside, and there was nowhere I could go. It is something I have really struggled on since I've been in F1, to be honest. Since I have been at the back of the grid, I really need to work on it. We keep on trying, but we managed to make it work in the end, pitting early and took those hards a really long way." So there were some sensational drives at the French Grand Prix. The two Red Bulls with their late overtaking manoeuvres of Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez, and particularly Perez making those Pirellis last for almost forever. You look at Lando Norris's second half of the race, outdoing his teammate once again and in the thick of the points in the top 10. Fernando Alonso doing the same, outdoing Esteban Ocon and getting the Alpine into the points right at the end. But on reflection, was George Russell's performance in the Williams the highlight perhaps of the French Grand Prix? Let us know in the comments section below, and of course hit the subscribe button to stay abreast of everything going on here at GPFans.